a simple way to understand phone and porn addiction and what you can do about it. Let's talk about something that affects a lot of us these days, the way our brains respond to things like phones, social media, and yes, even pornography. You see, scientists have spent years studying this, and what they found is pretty eye-opening. Whether it's a drug, phone addiction, or porn, the effect on the brain is more similar than we might think. Have you ever wondered why we keep checking our phones over and over again, even when we don't need to? It's not because we're weak. It's because every time we see a new post, a like, or a message, our brain gives us a little hit of a chemical called dopamine. Dopamine is the feel-good chemical. It gives us a little thrill. So naturally, we want that feeling again and again. That's why we keep scrolling. That's why we keep checking. It's our brain chasing that little reward. Now here's where it gets serious, especially with things like pornography. When you watch porn, your brain doesn't just release a little dopamine like it does with food or fun. It releases a lot. So much, in fact, that over time your brain gets overwhelmed. It stops responding to normal amounts of dopamine. So things that used to feel good, spending time with loved ones, working on hobbies, even eating a good meal, stop feeling as exciting. That's when a person starts needing more of that intense stimulation to feel anything at all. That's when addiction begins. And like any addiction, whether it's drugs, alcohol, or porn, it grows. You need more to feel less. You chase something stronger, more extreme, more risky. Over time, this overuse changes the way your brain works. In fact, scientists found that the same part of the brain that helps us solve problems, make decisions, and stay disciplined, the prefrontal cortex, actually starts to shrink in people with serious addictions. That means it gets harder to concentrate, harder to stay motivated, and harder to make good choices. If you found yourself stuck in this cycle, please know you're not alone, and there is a way out. Let's talk about what you can do to start healing. A simple practice: dopamine detox. One of the most helpful things you can do is give your brain a break. This is often called a dopamine detox. It's simple, really. Once a week, take a day, just one day, where you avoid anything that gives your brain that big dopamine hit. That means no phone, no social media, no video games, no pornography, no processed junk food, no mindless browsing or watching videos. Instead, spend that day doing quieter, simpler things. And here's the most important part. You have to believe that quitting porn or breaking your phone habit will actually make your life better. Some people hear all this and think, this is silly. It's just not that serious. But the truth is, if you believe it's harmless, you won't have the motivation to change. But once you truly understand how much these habits affect your brain, your mood, your relationships, and your future, that's when real change begins. You deserve better. You deserve a life where you enjoy simple things again. You deserve a life where you can focus, feel confident, and connect deeply with the people around you. You deserve to wake up feeling clear and full of purpose, not drained and distracted. And you can get there. Start with one small step. Take one day to detox. Replace one habit. Give your brain a little breathing room. Over time, you'll notice a difference. Your concentration will improve. Your patience will grow. Your motivation will return. And most of all, you'll begin to feel like yourself again. If this message speaks to you, or if you know someone who might need to hear it, feel free to share it. And if you have any questions or thoughts, don't hesitate to reach out in the comments. You're not alone, and things can get better. Thanks so much for taking the time to listen.